And welcome back. I am your host, the Susan Anna Mae O'Hagan, and today we have some true crime stories, and we are going to talk about them. If I've already said these stories, I'm sorry, there's just so many. Ooh, Biggie. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about Biggie. There's so much into Biggie and Tupac that I just don't know if I can handle that one yet. Like, there is a lot. Okay, teen lifeguard unsolved murder, new clues decades later. I think we already talked about that one. Molly Bush. Maybe that's why it's on Biggie. Cold case, the Caddy Cabin murders, yes. The Cry in the Night. Yup. Okay, so might be just on Biggie because that's the only one I have left. The Zodiac Killer. Who Killed Hogan's Hero? Judgment Day for a Predator. Golden State Killer. Yeah, okay. That's why it's on Biggie, because we already finished this one. I just not prepared for Biggie. I feel like I need to listen to his music, read Tupac's case, his case, and then get into it. I have another magazine here because I use them to help me, and I've also seen some of these on YouTube, or I will talk about some that I've heard about from other cases. The Body in the Backyard. Okay. Michelle Shavard became, whenever he talked about his 4-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter, after Michelle had kids, that's all he talked about, says Savor former co-worker and friend Michael Rippey. They were his biggest priority. S loved playing horseshoe with them and tending to the rabbit hutch he built for them in the backyard. He gave up his career as a commercial pilot, because it took him away from home too much, and took a job as a mechanic fixing the monorail at Disney World. And friends say it was for his kids' sake that S stayed in a marriage to their mom and his high school sweetheart Laura that had long been rocky. He was desperately trying to make Laura happy, recalls William Nicholas. The S next door neighbor in Claymont, Florida. Michael was working hard building her a barn. He was even digging his hole in the backyard to make her a duck pond. What S didn't know was that he was literally digging his own grave. On March 9th, 2018, about a month after police say Laura turned them away for attempting to conduct a welfare check request by a friend of Michael's, the Lake Community Sheriff Office searched the S5-acre property and found Michael's skeleton remains in the backyard, buried 3 feet beneath a concrete slab, which had been poured over the unfinished duck pond. Police say S33 was shot once in the back of the head with .38 CL handgun. Several months to several years before his body, still dressed in socks, shorts, and underwear, was found wrapped in a fitted sheet. Several months to several years. I'm not really sure how that works. Was found, more than 2 years later, on September 17, 2020, police arrest Laura, 39, and charged her with second-degree murder. She's pleaded not guilty and is free on bond, awaiting trial. Police allege Laura killed Michael in November 2015 and told friends and family that he had disappeared, abandoning her and the kids. On December 30th, 2016, she married Travis Filmer in the backyard of the family home, just 5 feet from the spot where Michael was found buried. And when police noted that Laura and Travis' names were etched in the concrete, the wedding ceremony, and then later hearing she was walking right over the top of him. I mean, that's just really something else, said Nicholas Moore. Shocking, yet friends say, is how she let Michael's kids believe he had abandoned them. That was the worst part of that. The kids have lived half their lives thinking he left, said Rippey. He would never do that. No one disputes that the S marriage was trouble. Michael was arrested in 2014 for simple domestic battery after a confrontation with Laura allegedly struck him over the head with a gun, a .38, but police arrested him for allegedly pulling out the weapon first. Michael would often go quiet for extended periods when he and Laura had a fight, which is one reason his friends weren't alarmed when he disappeared in 2015. When things were really bad with her, which they were a lot, he did withdraw, Rippey said. Another reason no one reported Michael missing for so long, police say that after he was gone, friends and relatives continued receiving messages from his Facebook account, which was updated on occasion. Weeks after his death, authorities allege Laura started selling S gun and giving away his expensive tools. I don't know how to pronounce that word. My son asked Laura how to borrow some kind of tool, and she opened the shed, Nicholas said. He says, "Are you sure Mike doesn't mind if I borrow this?" She goes, "Oh no, he's not going to care. He's never going to be back." Jeffrey Wiggs, Laura's attorney, tells people that the state's evidence is largely circumstantial and says his client is not only innocent, but also an abused woman. Nothing S24 arrest Laura Michaels wouldn't talk to people, but in March 2021, she declared her innocence in an online fundraising video. "I'm not guilty," she insists, adding that she's a servant of God who would never cause any harm to the father of my children. Michael's friends aren't so sure. For one thing, she and Michael never got divorced, so her marriage to Fillmore, with whom she now has 2 more children in 2016, is strange. "When I learned Mike was dead, I thought she actually did it," said Nicholas. "I was mad at myself because I didn't encourage him enough to leave her. But with the kids always foremost in his mind, he might not have listened. He would also be the first one to help someone in need," says Michael's sister, Stacy Turner. "I think of all the memories I have of him and how much I wish he were here still." Husband murder, a wife accused. I can't imagine anyone saying a bad word about Mike. A friend of Michael Shaver. 3 years after he went missing, authorities used ground potential radar and excursion to locate his body under a slab of concrete in his backyard. Police say his wife, Laura Fillmore, was the last person to see her husband alive. Well, that's terrible.